Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the show. My co-host Dave will be joining me shortly. He's just tied up with the radio station. He's got a couple things going on. So first of all, this image behind me, I've decided I'm going to go virtual background for a while. This was a great shot taken by our friend Kyle Kasprick at K2 Media, very, very talented drone pilot. And I've got some great shots of his. And so I thought I would, the studio's a mess. And why not celebrate some of the beautiful shots of Claresholm? I'm going to bring Dave in. Dave, you're in it. You have a different background too. It almost looks like you're in a car.
It looks that way, but the magic of technology. I just wanted to make it look like I was, a traveler, world experience here, cultured.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. How do we switch us? We're on the wrong.
Nope. I could try to switch us if you would like.
Let's try this.
How about we'll do this here? Let's do this.
There we go. All right.
How's that?
It's awesome. So listen, I know you're busy, so I appreciate you jumping on from your undisclosed location. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you saw the credits, the opening credits, but I
missed them.
Yeah. Okay. I credited you as an Alien Council member, which I don't know if a lot of people know that you are.
Okay.
The official welcoming committee.
I will change that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's good. So I just thought I'd get this out of the way. So, this is more of a world thing. There's been a lot of discussion in the media about extraterrestrial, non-human extraterrestrial life. So this is just an invitation. If they're listening and you want to be on the show, contact myself or Dave. We'd love to have you. I think it'd be cool to be the first show to have like an extraterrestrial guest, assuming we haven't had one already. I don't think
I may. So I didn't tell you this, but I may have some exclusive rights to certain alien beings that can come on the show.
Oh,
and
that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, what was my credit in the beginning of the show? What did you credit me as?
Oh, Alien Council member.
Okay,
so that could mean you're either like on the welcoming sort of side, or you are an alien, and in fact on the Earth side. It's kind of open for interpretation.
Okay, so Alien Council member. Have I got that right?
You got it.
Okay.
Done. Okay. So can you tell us where you are? What's happening? It looks like you're busy.
Okay, so the truth be told, we're heading to Cranbrook.
Oh.
And kind of a good story, actually. Well, I should take that back. Not a good story, but an interesting story. We are going out to Invermere to do a wedding. So I'm going to DJ somebody's wedding in Invermere. Of course, we got to leave today, so everything's packed up and ready to go. A couple of days ago, we got a call from the bride saying that their venue had canceled on them because of forest fires.
Oh, no.
So she moved everything to Cranbrook. She was able to find a secure location there. So we're now changing our route and we're going to Cranbrook instead.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a story. It's not, you said it's not a good time, I'm sure, for them, but hey,
yeah,
accommodating.
Yeah, but it's one of those stories that you say, man, we had this situation happen.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's wow. Well, I'll give you a quick overview of what we've got coming up today. So in a moment here, we're going to be joined by Santana Tom. She's going
who also is in a vehicle.
Well, it's crazy because my segue was going to be like, you're both in vehicles, you're avoiding forest fires, and she's kind of a smoke show. So it kind of makes sense.
That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, right? So we'll bring her in a moment. She's laughing. So we're going to be talking about the rodeo coming up in a couple of weeks. And then we've also got Tania Smeltzer from ConnectFirst Credit Union. And we're going to have her on just talking a little bit about how what they are, who they are, banking. Interest rates are fun right now. They are also on fire. We're going to talk to her about some solutions as well. And so let's start. Let's start with a bang and bring in our good friend Santana Tom in her vehicle. She's on another famous Claresholm location.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because I don't have my karaoke ready for today.
Yeah.
So can Santana take care of that for us today?
Yeah, of course. We can just.
No.
I'm just kidding. Santana, I know you're super busy. You're always so busy, and we really appreciate you taking the time to join us.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've talked very briefly the other day about the rodeo's back. There's some big events happening. Can you just kind of fill us in on what's coming up?
We are so excited. So last year was an absolute hit. with the rodeo, we sold that place out. I don't even think that there was a seat to be found.
Nope.
We are going to bring some more bleachers in this year, so maybe everybody will be a little bit more comfortable. There's so many exciting things. So a lot of our sponsors we are so grateful because a lot of them actually contacted us to be a part of the rodeo again. So we're having buckles again for first place. We're doing all the same events that we had last year. Of course, the wild pony race was the big hit of the night, and we are going to do that again. So we have announced entries. And so everything's on the Facebook page, all the dates and stuff that you have to remember. It's phone-in entries only. So don't try to message me and get in a little bit early or anything like that, because we can't. We have to make it fair for everyone. We went old school with phone call only. So just between 9 and 12, and I believe it's on August 7th, whatever the Tuesday is before the rodeo.
I'm going to put up a graphic here. Just tell me if this is...
Yeah.
There we go. So, and the other thing that people should know too, phone entries, you can only call from a dial phone. You can't use a cell. No, I'm just kidding. It's the old days, right?
It's the olden days. So one thing, I have a couple things to announce specifically here before I announce them on Facebook. The first thing is that we want to see your old school rodeo gear. So we want you to dress up with your olden days Western attire, be it contestants. We want to see the spectators do it. Let's kick it old school for real and wear what we can for olden days stuff. So I'm excited to see some of that. The second exciting announcement that we have is we have a local trick rider going to be joining us this year to entertain us. So at the beginning of the rodeo, we are going to open it up with a trick rider, and it's an adorable, I think she's 8 years old. She's from Granham, Alberta, and she's very excited to come to the Wild West Rodeo and show off for you.
So what a trick rider? Is she going to doing card tricks on the horse?
She does tricks on the horse. So I don't know exactly what tricks. I don't want to give too much away, but trick riding it's something that people... I don't want to let my kid do it. She wants to do it so terribly bad, but it's really neat. They work really hard, and I mean, they do basically gymnastics on the back of a horse.
I would be lucky, Santana, just to get on a horse. It doesn't even have
we're
to
going
go.
to do that. Alec, you know what? I'm going to hold you to something. You are going to get on a horse this year.
Yes, please hold him to something.
Dave, I don't remember inviting you into this. Bring people on as a guest. And I've been on a horse. It's been a very long time. It's been a long time since I've been on a horse. But you know, as long as it's got a saddle and someone's there with
it's fine.
Pillows just to kind of keep me.
No pillows. You'll be fine.
No pillows. Okay. But saddle. I get a saddle?
Yes.
The horse gets a saddle? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
that's fine.
there's no shortage of folks in town who could probably teach me how to do that safely.
It's true.
And the graphic we're going to take a just quick peek at here. This is what we want to take a look for on Facebook. Wild West Rodeo, we're back. And so there's the number. Call only for entries.
Yeah.
Monday,
so we're doing a steak dinner as well. So last year the steak dinner was a hit and it sold out. So we are going to do a steak dinner again. It's got corn on the cob, salad, and I believe we're doing baked potato as well.
Nice.
Those are pre-sale only though. So there's only 160 tickets. That's all we have. So get those early. I just dropped them off at Home Hardware. So that's the only place that they're for sale. Home Hardware, I'm so grateful for, because not only, what in the world is that?
That's Dave's old Western attire. That just came on a... Sorry. Yeah.
Home Hardware is not only... They're such a huge community.
You're trying to imagine me in that now. You can't talk anymore. No. After that, you're trying to imagine me in that outfit. Okay. Let's take a look at that one more time. Okay.
Oh my, we're gonna move Dave just out of view just for a minute.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So Home Hardware, who is not only one of our sponsors of our events, but they also generously allowed us to sell our steak tickets there. So whenever you're popping in, I just dropped them off this morning. There's 160 tickets. That's it. Once those are gone, that's it. Mary's Catering will still be open. So the concession will be open for people that didn't get in on the steak tickets. And we have Gord Gatton is doing our steaks again, him and his crew. And from what I heard, I actually didn't get to eat one last year.
Right.
But apparently they were outstanding. So
that's what I heard.
Forget to get your steak tickets.
We were in the same boat. I was running around like crazy. Didn't get to eat. but heard from a number of people that the food was awesome. Like that was a big buzz. So good work getting him back this year because that's going to be excellent. What's the and one my favorite thing last year was it mutton busting with the
mutton busting.
Mutton busting.
Yep.
And there was a kid, and you'll remember who it was probably. So all these kids come out hanging onto a sheep, right? Like for dear life. And this one kid came out backwards, and I thought it was brilliant.
Little Miss Vandervalk, so
yeah.
she came out backwards and she told those shoot guys that that's what she was doing no matter what.
Yep.
And she ended up winning the event, so
amazing.
That's very exciting.
Stuff like that is so cool.
Yep.
Is this going to be a new strategy for all the kids then? Are they all coming out backwards this year?
Well, it's going to depend on the judge. The judge might make a rule that you can't do
that. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to the judge. So the judge
give me the judge's phone number.
Yeah, right. No, we've got all the same events coming back. I know last year it was really cool to see the adult child team roping. That was another event that I think a lot of people like to see because there was some of our local stars, like our local rodeo stars that, they're in pro rodeo and we don't ever get to see their talent, right? We don't ever get to see them come to a hometown place. So a lot of them got to rope with some younger kids and we thought that was really cool. So hopefully we'll see that again. And of course the steer riding. So we've got the steer riding, we've got the barrel racing. I know my kid's gearing up. She's super excited to be a part of it again. And yeah, it's going to be wonderful. I have no doubt in my mind that they'll sell the place out again like we did last year, even though we were so shocked to see that many people. We're so excited to be back. And Dakota and I have done a lot of prep in getting things happening. And there's lots of people volunteering. Yeah. So there is still some things. If you want to volunteer and you want to be a part of it, go ahead and shoot us a message. And we do still have some sponsorship opportunities if there's people wanting to be a part of it.
Awesome. Wow. Great.
Santana, did you forgive me if I am not remembering this, but did you actually do any rodeo when you were a kid?
I did. Yeah.
You
so
did.
That's
What'd
how
you
I
do?
grew up. I was a barrel racer. I didn't.
Okay.
I did a little bit of poles, but not a ton. But mostly barrel racing. Poles weren't as popular then as they are now. We didn't have as much to go to back then as we do now.
Right.
So that was my life. That was my life. My whole family was in the rodeo. So
it's
near and dear to my heart.
It is. You're passionate about it, and it definitely shows. I haven't told you this, but when I was a kid, I did barrel racing, and the barrel won, which is sad. But anyway.
Cheesy, cheesy.
It was
what happened to the dad jokes anyway? I missed them.
That was one right there. That was one right there. No, and it's funny because last year I definitely saw some events I hadn't seen before up close like that, and the poles is amazing. Like just how accurate those animals are on the rider, and it's funny. Like you can see stuff. If you've seen it on TV or even seen it in a really big arena. It's different when you're that close like somewhere like Claresholm where you're like there's not a bad seat in the house. No. And
I remember last year my favorite part last year was in amongst me going from one end to the other. I mean, Dakota and I were basically high-fiving and going from one end to the other to make sure everything was running smoothly. And I remember passing you and you had your camera and you were kind of trying to put it in between the panels. And I said, Alec, you're going to come with me and you're going to go in the arena. And the sheer panic on your face was the best moment I had. But look at the shock you got.
I was like, what? We're going in there? But it was great. And I learned, and I almost messed it up because there's a camera or sensor. And I almost crossed in front of it and ruined the whole day. Yeah. But that thing is what times the in and the out of the horse.
The timer sensor, yeah.
Yeah. But
very
again,
important.
I not growing up in that environment, it was a learning curve day. And luckily there was another photographer down there, so she was able to we kind of helped each other a bit because it
yes. And you know what, this year I'm so sad because Sam was booked this year, so we weren't able to get her. So if you know of anybody that, even if you're amateur just trying to get into taking pictures of rodeo and that kind of stuff, we're totally happy to have you.
Okay,
so
I
reach out.
Get the word out. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, Frontier is sponsoring our buckles again. So Frontier Western Shop, they go down there, get all your stuff. Be prepared to get into the rodeo gear. They've got it all there for you, and they're a huge sponsor of this event, so awesome. We're really grateful for that.
What I saw that was very interesting was a pole event that was happening at the Nanton Night Rodeo, and there was this young 6-year-old girl who was doing the pole event. And she went around that last pole, and as she went around it, it kind of got caught, I think, on her knee or something like that, and it would have fallen over. But she just took her one hand and she grabbed it, and she was yanked it off, and she was stuck it right in the ground. She was like, "No way, you're not going down." I didn't know you could use your hands on the poles. So
these kids are mind-boggling watching these kids. I mean, some of them have worked extremely hard. We're lucky because in Southern Alberta, we do have quite a few events for these young guys to go to. And it's building up these crazy cowgirls and cowboys that it's going to continue the sport for lots and lots and lots of years, hopefully. My favorite part about the Wild West and what warmed our hearts the most last year was how many town kids actually entered. These aren't country kids. These aren't kids that, have been around the sport of rodeo, and they were so excited to enter. So that to me is exciting because I feel like the more we can encompass the Western lifestyle and the rodeo lifestyle with everyone, whether you live in town or you live in the country, I love seeing kids excited about doing it.
Yeah, no, it's true. And we definitely got that sense last year. Like, I loved it. I was in awe of it, especially when you forced me to be that close. I was grateful for it in the end. I look forward to getting on a what is a sheep I'm riding or something? No, maybe a small pony where my feet can touch the ground and I can kind of Fred Flintstone my way along.
Well, hey, you know what? If there's some interest, maybe next year we look at like wild horse racing or something like that and get some of the adults involved in it. You never know.
You never know. Santana, thank you again for your time and all that information. And I'll just put that board up one more time just for folks so they know what they're keeping an eye out for on Facebook. Tons of information on these two posters, including information about the dinner. $30 per person is excellent. Steak sandwich, salad, corn on the cob, a baked potato, rodeo admission included. That's an incredible value. And
that's a good price. Very good price.
You guys done
and
a
remember,
job.
this is a nonprofit, right? Everything that the only reason why we're doing it is to put it back to the Willow Creek Egg Society. So they're a big part of our community, and sometimes we forget about that. So nobody's making any money. It's all going back to the community, and we're just excited to be a part of it again. And awesome. Dave at the Agriplex allows us to do basically what we want. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Sweet. Well,
very
thank
good.
You. Very awesome.
You're welcome.
Okay. Carry on with your
weekend,
day.
You guys.
You as well.
Okay.
Thanks, Santana.
Bye.
We'll see you. Bye. So cool. We're going to just keep cooking right along here because people are on the show and they've got things to do and places to be.
Now, just leave some room for me to make an announcement, okay? I do have an announcement, so when you feel that's the right time, then let me know.
Okay, we'll do what we're going to do. We're going to move right along to our next guest. And then, Dave, you're going to have a huge runway to make your announcement.
Okay.
How long have you been sitting at that Wendy's drive-thru, by the way? I thought your food would be ready by now, but I guess not.
Yeah, fast food's not fast food anymore, eh? Just like country music's not country music anymore.
Right. If you go back far enough, everything was different. It's all different now.
It's all different. Yeah.
It's all different now.
That's right.
All right. We're going to welcome our next guest. And there she is, Tania Smeltzer from ConnectFirst Credit Union. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for playing along because I guess, Dave, I didn't realize, but I wasn't clear that this is also video. And so she was like, what are you doing to me? But it's all going to work out. So thanks for joining us. And the reason we wanted to have you on the show today is just to talk a little bit about what a credit union does, maybe how it's a little bit different than, say, a traditional bank. And just with things going on in the world, I don't know, interest rates, people have mortgages, they got to deal with those at some point. We were talking before the show, and I learned that the bank doesn't just roll dice every morning to decide an interest rate. There's a whole other bunch of things that go on to determine how that's set up. So, first of all, what is a credit union? How is that? You're a bank, but it's a little bit different, right?
That is true. So, credit unions were originated around kitchen tables, if you will, years ago. And so, credit unions are member owned. So we are, when you open an account, you have to buy a common share, at least one, and that gives you the right to vote for our board of directors, to have a little bit of a say. And the nice thing is we pay our profits back to you. And so that is the main difference between a credit union and a larger FI. We're member owned. We share our profits, and we're a small town. We're provincially regulated, whereas the larger FIs are, except for ATB. ATB is also provincial, but credit unions are provincially regulated, and larger FIs are federally regulated. So,
okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so there's a little bit of difference there. So but we have all the products and services of a large bank, with a little more community investment. Community investment is huge with us, not just donating or sponsoring, but also volunteering. So we love to do that. So if you ever have an event, you need some people, make sure you give us a shout. We'd love to help you out.
Gotcha. And when we talk about FI, just so everyone's clear, that's financial institution, right?
Yes, sorry,
okay.
financial
That's
institution.
Okay. No, I just want to make sure we get that clear. And I've seen you folks doing a lot of things in town. I know you've done the like beef on the bun and hot dogs, and you always kick off fair days. And so when it comes to services, even though it's maybe a bit of a smaller branch, what you were able to do is huge. You're competing with the big branches. So, for example, if folks are looking at their mortgage, thinking maybe they need to take a look around and see what else is out there, a credit union can help with that, right?
Absolutely. And we're one of the only financial institutions right now that will mortgage certain types of properties. We do lots of acreages. Some of the bigger banks don't do the acreages. We do lots of the mobile homes, whereas the big banks won't touch those. And so the nice thing about credit unions is that we like to know our member. We build relationships. We build trust. We answer our phone when you call, like
I've
actual
noticed
live.
that.
Yeah, we do.
That's how this interview happened. I called you.
Yes.
And you called me back.
Yes.
Great. It was quick. It was great.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to make everyone feel welcome. We want to make everyone feel like family and feel comfortable, because finances are personal. They're so personal. And if we can build those relationships and do our very best to help people, and sometimes people have that backstory, and because we are a credit union, we can go to our retail credit department and we can tell the story. We know this person, this is their hardship that they've been through, or and we've seen it happen, but they've proven themselves to us over and over. So even though they don't quite fit into the box or into the mold, let's see what we can do to come up with a plan to help this person so that we can help them reach their financial goals.
Yeah, that's excellent. And I think in that industry, like you said, where you've got we talk about the big five, you can feel a little bit like you've been sort of swallowed up by the machine. And it is great to come into the office and see people that, it's the same faces and folks know who you are. And it's a very different feel, I think, than if you were, when you live in bigger places and you're going into a big bank. But you can do all of the things that a big bank can do, which is
we can.
fantastic.
We've got competitive mortgage rates. I know that the mortgage or the rate environment right now is a little bit scary on the lending side. But when I think back, I mean, it's always kind of trended up and down a little bit.
Yeah.
And a mortgage rate right now is, between 5% and 6%, which seems really high because for years and years it was between 1.5% and 3.5%.
Yeah.
So rates are a little bit higher for sure, but it's not 18%.
No, no. And I was trying to, because this is a, camera interview, I was trying to see behind you if there was a crystal ball that you can just look at and determine where rates are going to go. Because really nobody, when it comes to interest rates, it is kind of, are you surprised when Bank of Canada says, we've done this, we've done that? How much lead time do you get as a bank to kind of know maybe what's coming? Or are you as in the same boat as the rest of us going,
Well, I'm sure that my treasury department has a little bit more insight, but this last interest rate hike really, it kind of did take us, it surprised us a little bit. Predictions a couple of months ago were that they would start to go back down now. Now predictions are they'll go up a little bit more this next year, and then before they start to go down, it's really dependent on our federal government, and that's the kicker.
Yep, and it's like predicting the weather, isn't it?
Yes.
It's you can't predict the apparently you can't predict the weather. Dave Murphy said, "I once thought about opening a credit union, but I lost interest." Dave, you're holding a cat there, buddy. Are you everything okay there? Did that?
Yeah, everything is fantastic. We're hitting the road here. I got my Wendy's, and the cats are they're comfortable in a moving vehicle, of course.
Yeah, because
so
they love that.
You could see this.
They love that.
Yeah, but I had a question for Tanya actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of trying to figure out what now I know this isn't something people usually should do, but I am going to show my bank account, and I'm just wondering if you can help me figure out what I can do with this $37 million that I have. Could you advise me in any way on how I should maybe invest this or spend it or
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Come on in and we'll make it work for you.
I bet.
Yeah, Dave invested in Bitcoin on day one. He bought all of them, and now look at where he is.
Nice.
Smart guy. It's funny your account number is really easy to remember.
Well, I can't tell everybody what my actual account number is.
Exactly.
Alec, come on.
No, that would be silly.
That would be ridiculous.
We're not doing silly things here.
That's right. Exactly.
That's funny.
We're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you get the cats a bank account? Oh, my other question for you was, when it comes to younger folks, say under 18, maybe first job, they're making a bit of money. Can you help out younger kind of kids with getting a junior account set up?
Absolutely. They can, at any age of child, can come in and open their own accounts. They can have a bank card as long as mom or dad say that they can, and because a child can't be on the hook for it, but mom and dad can. So, but yeah, no, we love to, meet with kids and help them start understanding how to divvy up either your allowance or your paycheck or whatever that looks like, and have a spending account and a savings account, and how important that is to start that early for sure.
Yeah. Okay, awesome.
We honestly, we have all the products that a big bank offers. We have the TFSAs, RSPs, all of those things. GICs, we've got some really good GIC rates right now, which is term deposit. So that's a sort of a locked-in savings account. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that when I talked about the credit union being member-owned and paying our profits back, when you buy common shares, you can buy up to $200,000 of our common shares, and we pay our dividends back based on the amount that's in that account. Okay. So like last year we paid 4.52, which was higher than our 1-year term deposit rate. Generally, it's a little bit higher than our 1-year term deposit rate.
Right.
So it's a really great savings platform. That's a different option that the big banks don't have. So
4.52, did you say?
I believe that's what we paid last year.
And is it the case where when interest rates go up, we all think about borrowing and debt, but it also affects the savings side too, doesn't it?
For sure.
If you have some money, then you're going to get a bit of a return on your savings as well.
Great time to save. And the other difference between credit unions and big banks is that with a credit union, 100% of your deposits are guaranteed, whereas the big banks, $100,000 worth of your deposits are guaranteed. So if you had $1 million, or you had Dave's bank account with, what was it, 37 million? Yeah. If something went south with us, that you'd be guaranteed your 37 million back. And with a big bank, you'd get $100,000 back.
So when you talk about banks, so that's nothing can happen to a bank, right? Banks don't fail ever, do they? Of course they don't.
I will say that in Canada, we do have a little, more rigid regulations. We hear lots about the banks in the States.
Yeah.
But very different ball game.
It is. And I think that's actually a really good point. Obviously, I'm kidding. I know things can happen, but there is, and I think that we do share a lot of things, obviously, with our friends in the U.S. But when it comes to the banking system, there are some key differences, and I think probably why we haven't seen. We also don't have, they have a lot of banks too, a lot of different banks. Like we talk about our big five, they have, when we talk about banks collapsing, they'll say, well, that was the 16th largest bank in the U.S. So they have a huge variety as well. Yes. And, those banks serve a particular sector, whereas I think here we're a little more general. And
Well, we're just more regulated, so that those major things can't happen here. So
yeah, that's a very good point. I hadn't even
Okay.
thought of asking that.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump in here.
Okay.
I belong to a credit union. Our business and our personal accounts are at a credit union, and I didn't really understand the whole the profit sharing thing until all of a sudden it popped into my account one day, and I went, "Whoa, what's that?"
Yeah.
Oh, and I went and spent it on some fun stuff. And so I was very, some gas. Did you say some gas?
Some cats.
Oh, cats.
Cats.
Because gas would have been legit as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some cats with it. Yeah. But it was really cool to see that profit sharing occur and, be able to go out and have some fun with it. So,
yeah, that's excellent. That's, see, that's perfect.
And it wasn't anything small either. It was pretty substantial. So
yeah, I didn't know you were. That's great, Dave. Thank you for sharing. And that, even though your bank account is massive, clearly, I like that you still keep it like you're like a small town kind of guy.
And the cool thing is, I was going to make a joke about the fees that I pay on my $35 million, but when you have $35 million, you don't need to pay fees. So
right, yeah, and you know what? 100% of that is guaranteed if you're with a credit union.
That's right, exactly.
Nothing's going to happen to it. Awesome. Well, Tania, we really appreciate you coming on and sharing some wisdom. And I learned a couple of things, which isn't hard. There's a lot I don't know, Tanya, I'll be honest.
Well, I sure appreciate the invite. And I did get to catch Santana before. And I just wanted to say, make sure you come to our barbecue, our Fair Days barbecue, the Thursday from 11:30 to 1:30, because all of our proceeds are going to the rodeo. So,
see, what a time.
Now, did you see that she didn't do the karaoke? We always have karaoke on the show. I didn't get it done. She didn't do it. Are you a karaoke person, or?
No, I don't think you'd want me to be a karaoke person.
Alec, I think you're the one who's going to have to do karaoke today, Alec.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting altitude sickness sitting up this high. I don't think I'll be able to sing. I'm getting lightheaded, as it were. Awesome. So folks are interested to come down and talk to you. You are on 50th Ave and 2nd Street. Boy, oh boy, I think I would know that.
We're just north of the post office, right across the street, 134 50th Ave.
There you go.
And you don't need an appointment. You can just pop in anytime.
I love that. Okay. If you've got questions, if you have things you want to talk about, you can pop in and go and talk to the folks at the credit union right across from get your mail, go over, remortgage your house, just like that. It's a 2-step thing. Very simple.
Right? Easy breezy.
Exactly. Awesome, Tanya. We really appreciate your time, and we'll see you around Fair Days.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Take
Have
care.
a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm glad you're a credit union member. That was brilliant. That's
yeah,
perfect.
I am.
That's awesome. Okay.
I've been a credit union member for actually some time. I appreciate what they do.
Yeah. It's awesome. No, it's fantastic. And we so here's kind of funny thing. So we are on the business side. I've got an account with them as well. And when we owned a shop in town called Gratitude, which some product is coming back, and actually that arm of the business is going to be a sponsor on the show as well. So it's going to be a nice tie-in back to. Which
really okay, cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of sponsors on the show, we're going to be introducing 2 new sponsors next week.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So we are going to have the pharmacy.
Yep.
The Claresholm pharmacy, and we are going to have the dollar store.
Awesome. Okay.
So we've picked up more sponsorship.
That's perfect. You know what's funny is Paul owns Janet's and the pharmacy and the dollar store, and we actually had a good conversation earlier in the week over a bowl of soup at the soup bowl. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, there you go.
So we got some business done. They had cheddar broccoli soup, which was unbelievable. I probably could have eaten 3 of them. They were really, really good. So he had mentioned that, so that's great. And now, was that your announcement? Because I know we talked about having an announcement.
That was the announcement.
Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome.
That was the announcement.
Okay.
Yeah.
we're gonna have a good slate of sponsors coming up. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna just jump into what's happening in Claresholm because I know you guys are traveling, so we'll keep things moving, and then we'll talk about what's happening in Nanton, and then we'll let you get back on the road, shall we? So let's check out what we've got going on in town. All right, now this is Keeson's favorite thing. I know he's not here, but I'm going to just do this. Hold on one second. There we go. As always, we're going to start off every Saturday. We've got the meat draw happening at the Legion. Duck races, breakfast packages, 50-50. Tickets are $1. Doors open at 2. The draw starts at 3. Also want to promote this coming up, 3-on-3 ball hockey tournament. It's coming Sunday, August 20th, which will be here before you know it. $150 a team, minimum 4 players, maximum 9 players. You can reach out to Rachel Wagner if you'd like to get involved in that. Every Wednesday, the Claresholm Farmers Market is happening at the Claresholm Arena. And it's running weekly with an open mic as well, which is pretty cool. Speaking of open mics, Fridays, they're doing late night shopping now in town, which is kind of neat, 5 to 8. July 28th, that's today. So there's another live open mic down at Ringrose Park. We've got lawn games happening from 5 to 8 p.m. And then next week, they're showing a movie down there and a concession in Munston Park. 9 p.m., they're showing the movie Grease, which not a lot of people know this. I think Dave was actually an extra in Grease. Hold on, your mic is muted. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to say it. A Munson still.
A Munston.
I still can't say it.
I'm saying it wrong. I know I'm saying it wrong. I know it's wrong. But anyway, down there, you can go catch Dave as an extra in Grease at 9 p.m. Fair Days, August 11th. And then after Fair Days, we've got another open mic, and they're showing the movie Footloose, which is going to be great.
So I got an interesting fact. Fact for you. It wasn't me in Grease. That was actually my alien double.
Oh. That makes more sense.
I know that the whole alien thing is only coming to light now.
Yeah.
But they've been around a long time, and I like that with them.
Yeah. I think having an alien double would be helpful, wouldn't it?
It would, yeah.
2 places at once, it would be great.
Yeah.
Next week on the show, we're going to be talking a lot about Fair Days. Now, I'm not going to read this because there's a lot going on, but just take a quick peek at this poster. You're going to see this up on Facebook and up in town. It's a 4-day event, August 10, 11, 12, and 13, and those days are pretty packed. Saturday it needed an extra bit of a column. It's going to be huge. So take a look for this poster, print it out, save it on your desktop. It's going to give you a breakdown of what's going on where, so you don't want to miss anything. A couple of highlights coming up. Obviously, we've got the Fair Days Chili Cook-Off, which is going to be great. I love chili cook-offs. We've got the big rodeo, which we talked to Santana about earlier, so keep an eye out for that. And if you're looking to enter, Monday, August 8th from 9 till noon, call only. So if you want to get in, you can't email. You can only make phone calls 9 to noon on August the 8th. This is unbelievable to me. There's going to be a steak dinner happening as well. Steak sandwich, salad, corn on the cob, baked potato, and rodeo admission $30. I don't think you can buy all those ingredients for $30, and then you have.
That's amazing.
And the chef who's making it's fantastic. He's back again this year. Did a great job last year, and this is new as well. This is going to be coming up on Fair Days, Saturday, August 12th. Good Old Days Cabaret at the Claresholm Community Center, 8 p.m. We've got a DJ, dance, drinks, hot dog bar, and of course there's no minors for that one. And if you're looking to see what else is going on in town and you want to have a kind of a glance at the month, and I got to give a shout out to Amanda from the local press. She emails me at the beginning or kind of the end of every month with a bunch of stuff, this included. So take a look. You can go to their website to check out what's happening in town, the calendar breakdown, the recycling days, what looks like a bingo game at the top. It's a great resource to find out everything that's happening in Claresholm.
I like that. It makes recycling days a lot more fun, right?
It does.
To think you're playing bingo.
Well, twice a month, I run out in the street and scream bingo when the truck goes by.
That's right.
Because I think it gives them something to look forward to.
It does, right? Yeah.
Bingo. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot happening coming up, and Nanton Days is coming up next week as well. Is that right?
Yes, next weekend, Nanton Days.
Okay.
Yep. So we got a lot of stuff. Do you want me to go into some of the Nanton stuff that's going on here?
So
tomorrow, because we're going to be in Cranbrook, we're going to take a weekend off here. from the show. Probably play a rerun of another show. So if you do want to tune in and see one of our older shows, I'll see if I can find a really funny one, and that would air tomorrow if we do air one. So you can check it out. It will. I'm sure all the social media channels will let you know that it's on. Yeah. But for this weekend in town, just to let everybody know kind of what's going on here, we've got the calendar of events on our euroradio.ca website. So we can see here that the Marlins Sharks swim competition is happening this weekend. And then we've got the Nanton Night. Oh, the Nanton Night Rodeo actually is going to be canceled this weekend. So that is not going to be happening. Okay. And then we got the Farmers Market that happens. And then we've got, of course, next week. Look at that. Jody Steele is on our radio station now. Nice. And then next week, we actually are going to be, let me bring this up. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay, let's do this. And
ta-da!
Ta-da! So that's going to be happening during Nanton Days. Kicking Nanton Days off, actually. Okay. This is the first event that's going to be happening. We're the ones putting it on. The Nanton Community Broadcasting Association. We're doing Nanton Rock and Roller Celebration number 3. So we're going to have music at the THRC Arena. Everybody's going to be roller skating or rollerblading. And you know what else is going to be happening, which is really cool? We got the Nanton Palominos senior men's, the AA men's hockey team are going to be there to meet and greet with all the skaters.
That's awesome. Yeah. Wow. That's very cool. Dave Murphy said, I read something last night about RCMP giving up burgers and hot dogs instead of tickets. I don't know.
That happened last week.
Oh, that was a thing. It actually was a thing that happened.
That was a thing. It happened last week, yeah.
Nice. Okay, I would have sped through Nanton to get a hot dog if I'd known that was going on.
Yeah.
I will actually be at the Grain Elevator on Saturday the 5th. There's a Reader's Theater happening there. Mm-hmm. And I'll be there for that. So if you're around.
We're going to talk about that too.
Okay. Awesome. Excellent. So tomorrow, you're going to probably be showing a vintage show out of the vault. You're going to crack the vault.
Yeah. Might crack the vault. Yeah.
Okay. Put a vintage show up. And then you and I will see each other again next Friday. Yes. And then we're off for a week because of Fair Days. And so it's busy summertime. So we'll be talking about Nanton Days next week and helping to promote that and get the word out about what's happening in Nanton.
Yep.
Which is awesome. I think we've done well today. Now I know there's no karaoke. That's okay. We'll catch up with it next week.
Okay.
And that brings us to another.
That was nice.
The sun is setting on our show.
We got that's beautiful.
And my arm is disappearing into the background for some reason. Look at that.
Well, let's make the rest of you disappear and have a good day.
I like it. Have a good one, folks. We'll see you next weekend. Bye.
Have a good one. See you guys.